Right. I want to talk about J.K. Rowling next, Chloe, because this is something that you, as a woman, have been incensed by.
Did you just
Uh,
assume my gender,
I
Darren?
did actually, yes, yeah. I want to
I'm
commit
gonna
as
report.
many SNP hate crimes as I possibly can in this one stream and hope that the SNP come down north, ever so slightly south of the border to lock me up. So J.K. Rowling posted this thread and she goes on. She's talking about the Scotland's Hate Crime Act, which came into effect because these people clearly don't understand irony on April Fool's Day. And she says women gain no additional protections, of course, but well-known trans activist Beth Douglas, darling of prominent new Scottish politicians, falls within a protected characteristic and this category rather. And this is her posing with an axe and a set of knives that clearly posting them in an intimidatory, threatening way. I'll very quickly go through them. This is Adam Graham, who now goes by the name of Isla Bryson, and he's a double rapist. And I will never call him Isla Bryson, by the way. He was a man, and he tried to get into female prisons, which SNP, useless sturgeon, gladly put him in one because of their self-identification laws. Then you've got other people. This predatory man that she mentioned, J.K. Rowling highlights this delightful
God.
creature. I mean, gosh, that's what I look like hungover. And this person, Samantha Norris, was cleared of
Terrifying.
exposing her penis to two 11-year-old girls. So this is the kind of people that we're enabling here. This man, he butchered and abducted. I mean, no way. I'm just not having it. Look, football, it's ruined sport. Rape crisis centres are saying that there's a crisis here. And this person here, I wonder if I had. This is a so-called model, Munro Bergdorf. I'm assuming Bergdorf is an actual, or his actual name. First ever UK, I think the UN did something. Yes, UN's
Mm.
women's first ever UK champion. And this is who my colleague Albi Amoncona got into a spat with J.K.
I was
Rowling
just going
over
to mention that.
by saying that actually, how could you argue that this person isn't a man? And I think, well, given that jawline, probably pretty easily. Like, better
Yeah.
jawline than I've got. Um, so you just go through the list. This horrible India Willoughby creature, and it goes on and
Did you
on.
see the spat on Talk TV that went viral on this with me in
No, but very
on
well
India
done.
Willoughby? There was it was Helen Joyce from Sex Matters and Matthew Stanlon, who was also on the panel with me. Matthew was insisting that we were, transphobic bigots for suggesting that India Willoughby is a man, and Helen and I put him in his place. Let's just say,
Very
and
well
the
done.
internet
It's
liked
She's
it.
great, Helen Joyce.
it's so bizarre that if you put someone in a coma 10 years ago and you woke them up today and you just gave them some of these headlines, like not being able to say or being attacked for saying that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, it's unfathomable. It really, really is. It's scary because these people do not want to live in a world of facts and science. They want to live in la la land and pretend that these things don't exist. And there are politicians like Nicola Sturgeon and Humza Yousaf who are enabling them to live in la la land, but putting women at risk. These are the same political people who are so-called feminists. And these are the same people that J.K. Rowling would have happily supported 10 years ago, but she's now seeing what the left has become, what the deep dregs of the left who are infiltrating with the woke mind virus, spreading to each other's brains and making them believe that facts don't exist, that you can just say something and it's the truth. It is not the truth. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. These are biological facts grounded in nature. There is nothing we can do to change it. So if, one thing that I loved that J.K. Rowling did obviously yesterday was post those tweets in defiance of the new law the day that it came out, and obviously threatened the SNP government's police force. What is it? Woke? What's the lesbian
Hate
nana?
monster.
The lesbian nana police officer to come and
Yes.
arrest her. That's great because this is exactly the kind of activism we need. And in some way, she's sort of set a precedent because if someone else says that online and the police have responded by saying we're not going to arrest J.K. Rowling for these posts, then that can be used as legal evidence in the future. So all these trans people, I mean, I posted something yesterday on JK Rowling. I'm getting a lot of the trans hate as well. You know, they're saying, well, what has she actually done? Well, in some cases, this may actually be used as defense in court to say, well, JK Rowling said it and wasn't arrested. Why can't I?
Well,
Very powerful.
Yes, indeed. So I just want to read out this comment because someone called Anthony Rucroft has said, "Oh God, the baby-faced C-word is infesting Facebook now with his bollocks." So that's very pleasant, and I'm delighted to see, Anthony, that I have been shared onto your Facebook feed, and it's giving you much alarm and dissatisfaction. Enjoy your evening, Anthony.
And you know what, Darren, just on that point, it's really funny because the fact that he's getting he's seeing your stuff means he's engaging with you quite regularly. That's what I love about these trolls. They can't get enough of you, Darren. They love you.
What can I say? I'm irresistible.
The more they comment, the more the algorithm boosts our content. So thank you to all the haters. I love you all.
Mark says, my UK and St George flag arrived today. Hooray, covered head to toe. Good for you, Mark. We should all be flying it later this month for St George's Day. 26, is it? Someone will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
If you go to other countries, by the way, it's completely normal to see the national flags everywhere. If you go to America, almost everyone's got their Stars and Stripes flag outside their house. If you go to almost any country, loads of people have the flags outside their houses. They're outside loads of buildings. You see them everywhere. Britain, I mean, we're more reserved than anywhere, to be honest, even before this flag bashing nonsense that we've seen in recent months. So the idea that we're all being, you know, too patriotic, shoving our flag in everyone's faces is just ridiculous.
So there were more complaints about Humza Yousaf's 2020 speech about being the only white
I'm one of
person.
them. I've submitted my complaint. I encourage you all to do so. Make sure this man gets a taste of his own medicine.
Then J.K. Rowling, under his new hate crime law, as police received 4,000 complaints in 2 days. Now, Alex, you posted a tweet about this, which I've now lost, which I can get up. But this comes at a time, of course, when the latest YouGov poll are saying that Labour are going to become the biggest party in Scotland. Now, you may well be thinking, oh, well, it can't get any worse than Humza Yousaf, can it? It must be hunky-dory happy days. A new era for Scotland. A new dawn has broken, has it not, as Tony Blair would say. And actually, you then look at what this bloke, Anna Sarwar, who is the leader of the Labour Party in Scotland, what he has said, and it's no bloody better. So he says in this clip here, delightful chap, he goes on and on.
There's not more action in the government motion today, because it's actions that are going to make a difference, not just words. And let me share some examples. Every chief executive of every council and every government department, white. Every director of a department in Scotland, white. Every principal of a college or university in Scotland, white. Every head teacher in Scotland, white. Every chair of a public sector body in Scotland, white. Every High Court judge in Scotland, white. Every prison governor in Scotland, white. Every editor of a news organisation in Scotland, white. Why? Is it because we don't have...
So you get
God,
the
it's
hint,
almost
right?
like he copy-pasted Humza Yousaf's speech. Just like
exactly.
Rachel Reeves copy-pasted her book from Wikipedia.
Exactly.
Literally.
And then Alex posted the Humza tweet.
Humza Yousaf.
Which is here. And
the Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every High Court judge, white. The Lord Advocate, white. The Solicitor General, white. The Chief Constable, white. Every Deputy Chief Constable, white. Every Assistant...
And you said, Alex, on Twitter, the same people rather, crying over Lee Anderson's opinions, were very quiet when Humza Yousaf went on a racist tirade against white people. The same bigots who think coconut is okay and chants for genocide and intifada are acceptable. Why do the left have two-tier outrage for racism? Is it just not okay when a white person says it? And then, of course, as I highlight there, this is Anna Sarwar, the leader of the Labour Party, and I said, if you think getting rid of the SNP's hateful Humza useless is good news, have a listen to Labour leader Anna Sarwar. And it's much the same.
Talent.
White, white, white. And they say it. This is why it gets to me. They say it with such vehemence, right? They say it with such disdain. They loathe the word. So they are the very racists that they accuse all of us of being. And this kind kind of bigotry is what we can get used to in Scotland. Never mind hate crime laws, right? This kind of anti-white racism is dripping through, and that's going to have perverse incentives because it's going to mean that you have in Scotland people getting into positions of power who perhaps don't have the merit or talent to get there, but who are just put there because Humza Yousaf and Anna Sarwar want to tick a few diversity boxes. Scotland is a 96% white country. Is it really so unbelievably hard to fathom that there would be white people in positions of power when you have that large a white majority? Is that really such a bad thing?
Exactly. If the percentage... Go on, Alex.
Sorry, I was just going to say, just flip those speeches and replace them with black or brown or any ethnicity you like, and the police would be there, and the mayor of London and all those people would be commenting on Facebook about and Twitter about how we need to stamp out racism and how this is not acceptable. Suella Braverman got sacked for far less, because she called out hate marches in London when they are hate marches. Let's just get real. So the insanity around this, you have to be a specific type of ethnic minority that is on the left to avoid being called a racist. But you can call, as long as you're racist against white people, it's absolutely fine. There's articles published in the United States of America that their headlines are openly racist. One of them was why white people are driving through poor people's towns, polluting causing pollution and cancer. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Again, unfathomable. The same goes back to the trans thing. It's unfathomable that we've now got white racism that's acceptable in our society. I just can't. People think that they're going to get a changed Labour Party. This is one of their main leaders. This is somebody who represents the entirety of Scotland. If he gets in, that's going to be their leader, is it?
Yeah. Before I bring you in, Chloe, I'm just going to go to a few comments because obviously this is getting people very incensed. Michael says on Facebook that he very much agrees. Charlie Sansom, good mate of yours, Alex, has commented on Twitter saying, Labour will do what the Tories are currently doing, but 10 times worse. Our country is lost for the next decade at least. Lynn says, is that not hate speech? Proud to be white. How dare you say that, Lynn? Don't you know you've just fallen foul of Scotland's hate crime laws, you bigot? And Richard is commenting as well, criticising, every power body in Scotland not being that big a surprise, especially with a proportional representation system. That's what Scotland has as their electoral system. Well, if you have a PR system as far as the ethnicity of people in Scotland is concerned, you'll have an overwhelming number of white people. And they're talking about, Tom Ash says, where's William Wallace when you need him? Well, he's probably been locked up for saying something online. He's probably been cancelled. He's probably said something in his past, in his history, that they don't like. And the walkies have come for him and said, to the gulag with you and your outdated views. Mark comments on YouTube and he says, I will not accept the narrative. And Michael says, great chat, everyone. Thank you very much, Michael. Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.